crafting journey here, that journey chick on Instagram. Welcome to another edition of Crafting and Crime Daily. Could be the last edition. I'm having surgery on Monday. It'll be the last edition until I'm gonna say maybe next Thursday. I will try to bring you some shorts, YouTube shorts, that maybe have to do with the surgery and me being on drugs. And I'm really sorry about that because I'm following this trial day 18 or 19 yesterday, and there's no trial today. So they're going to resume on Monday. I don't even know if the prosecution is done with their case. So I don't want to miss the end of this trial, and I don't want to miss bringing it to you. So I'm going to be sitting in my hospital bed. Actually, not hospital, it's a, it's an outpatient place that you stay a couple of nights. I'll be laying there listening to the trial. No, I won't. I'll be so high on drugs, you guys. Who am I kidding? Okay, I'll do my best. I promise you. So, hey, don't forget to hit the like button today. He's going to help my sister clean the house. Yes, I taught him how to run the vacuum. Now, I didn't teach him how to empty the thing, so my sister's going to help him out. So, hit the like button. Don't forget to subscribe if you enjoy the content, and ring the notification bell so you don't miss a single episode of Crafting and Crime Daily. Now, I will try to do a drive live today. I totally forgot about it yesterday. I was late for work, and I'm going to be late for work today too because I can't get my butt out of bed. Yeah.
Oh no!
I know. I'm so comfy. Yeah, I just can't get up. Yeah. So where's my journal? Let's give them something to talk about. Oh, you're never going to guess what day this is. Oh my gosh. This is an exciting day. This is J.R.R. Tolkien Reading Day. J.R.R. Tolkien Reading Day. And just doing some of the research for the show today, I want to get the book and read it again. I have the book, and I think I looked for it. And I think I gave it to Malia to read. And I'll bet you it's just gathering dust in her room. Or it's in one of the closets in my sister's room. I didn't want to go in there and disturb her. Okay, J.R.R. Tolkien. I don't even know if I can spell it right. Reading Day. Reading. Guess what, guys? I paid the bills. I paid the electric, utilities, and the gas bill. We're not going to talk about that. And today, on this day in history, we are going to talk about, I don't know, I forgot. What are we going to talk about? Oh, Bjork. Remember Bjork? Yeah, we're going to talk about Bjork. She showed up at the Oscars wearing the most outlandish dress, and I don't know if you can remember it. I'm going to give you a little bit of time to think about it before we get to that segment of the show. Anyway, the nicest thing about rain is that it always stops. Yep. It's not raining today. I have no idea what the weather is because it's different every single day. I don't even know how to dress anymore. My gosh. Let's see. What's the weather today? Oh, 39 degrees. I got a sweater right here. I'm sitting on it. I'll put my sweater on. 61 is going to be the high today. Okay. What is with this weather? Why is it so freaking cold outside? But you know what? You know what makes that better? It's... Oh. That's the Christmas button. Okay. Wrong button. Ready? It's Friday. We don't dance to Jingle Bells. And payday! Woohoo! Okay. Yay! I can't believe I put on Jingle Bells. Anyway. I cleaned off this whole desk over here because I finally got my second monitor for work. I asked my boss, can I get a second monitor for at home? And she's like, of course. So she ordered it, and guess when it gets here? Yesterday. I have one more day of work left before my 6 to 8 weeks of recovery, but I'm going to use this monitor for something else. Yeah, I got plans for the second monitor. Yeah, we might do some streaming of ARC this weekend. I'm going to see if it will work, and if it works, I'm going to bring it to you. I need to scoot over so I can see this section. Man, I'm not awake yet. Holy moly. I think this calls for more coffee. Now you can tell I have to go to work today because I got the big old cup, right? That I stole from my sister. I'm sorry, Jean. But it just works so well because they don't make decaf at work. I have to have decaf coffee. So let's talk about J.R.R. Tolkien Reading Day because I'm excited for this. So I pulled up a quote of his that I thought was really appropriate for, you know, this time of year. Let me read it to you. Where is it? Where is it? Oh, I know where it is. Okay. The world is indeed full of peril, and in it there are many dark places, but still there is much that is fair. And though in all lands love is now mingled with grief, it grows perhaps the greater. Not grief, the love, yeah. And I think that's appropriate for what's going on in the world, yeah. Even though we're riddled with grief over what's going on in Ukraine, we're also seeing a lot of love come out of this. Yep. So thank you, J.R.R. Tolkien, for that quote. So let's talk about J.R.R. Tolkien Reading Day. J.R.R. Tolkien was born January 3rd, 1892. He was an English writer, poet, philosophist, and university professor. He also liked to draw. He actually drew the cover of The Hobbit. Here's a picture of the cover. And the publisher wrote out on the side of the print that he gave them, take out the red. They didn't want the red in this cover. So you'll see there's no red in this original cover. But years later, they added the red back in, and I'll show you the version that has the red moon in the back, which is how J.R.R. Tolkien originally intended this piece of artwork to be. He liked to do illustrations for his books. Some of them did end up in the books, some of them did not. He actually drew Middle-earth. There's a museum that has all of his stuff, all of his books, all of his illustrations, and they've taken the Middle-earth map that he drew and made it three-dimensional. And you can actually like look on this table and see the three-dimensional Middle-earth that he drew. Anyway, his best-known author of the classic works, The Hobbit, The Lord of the Rings, The Silmarillion, as well as Roverandom and Farmer Giles of Ham. However, he has published more than 30 books, several posthumously. The author has sold more than 150 million copies of Lord of the Rings. Holy moly. Trilogy, not just the Lord of the Rings. He sold 150 million copies of the trilogy, and that number continues to grow because even young people now, it just resonates. It's a timeless piece of work. It doesn't fit any particular, like it's not 80s or 90s, you know, it's classic. It just, anytime you want to pick it up and read it, it just takes you somewhere else. And I enjoy those books so much. So this day encourages readers of all ages to explore J.R.R. Tolkien and learn more about the author. With over 30 published works, he had a lot to say, and not just about hobbits, though many are on the medieval order. So, little known facts about Tolkien, he liked to do crossword puzzles too, and he would doodle on his crossword puzzles. So here's a fun thing to do today. Create your own map, Middle Earth. Just draw a map of Middle Earth. It would look anything like my diamond painting. Oh my gosh, are there any diamond paintings of Tolkien's works? Ooh, I'm gonna have to talk to Uniquely Yours Down Under and see if they could do any of his stuff as a masters. That would be pretty cool, don't you think? Are any of you reading any of his books? Have you read all of his books? If you haven't, oh my God, you are missing out on classics. So anyway, read some of the books today. Pick it up or listen to it on Audible. You can do that. They just take you to another place. They really do. If you're like needing to get away, yeah, read some Tolkien. You just go to another place. And here's my challenge to you today. Down in the comments, leave your favorite character. Was it Bilbo Baggins? What, who was your favorite Tolkien character? Leave that down in the description. I would like to know. Inquiring minds want to know. Okay, let's talk about crafting and crime daily. Yes, we're still doing the trial of William Husel. I don't even know if I want to call him doctor anymore because, man. So here's the question. Does he deserve to go to jail for what he did? And yesterday they put on another nurse. I don't know how many nurses. I've lost count of how many nurses have lost their job over this issue. Like, at least 10, I'm thinking. I don't know. Because this is now 44, 45, 46 witnesses that the prosecution has put on. 46 witnesses. Good gravy. So yesterday, and the nurse kind of said the same thing. This guy was 36 years old. He had served in the military right out of high school. He had done 2 tours in Iraq. He looked like a baby. Oh my God. He did not look like he was 36 years old and had done 2 tours in Iraq. And it kept every time he had to go overseas and get deployed, it would interrupt his nursing studies. So he finally got done with his last tour in Iraq. He finished nursing school. He goes to Mount Carmel. He gets a job. He trains, as you should, on a med-surg floor. He works on a med-surg palliative care floor for a couple of years, and then he goes into the ICU, and they make him a charge nurse. No, and he precepts in the ICU. He works in there for a few months, and then they make him a charge nurse. So he was responsible for giving one of the dosages of medication to one of the 14 patients at the order of Dr. William Husel, which he did not question. He said, no, I did not question this. This was a common order. It was very common to override the Pyxis machine. He saw no problems with this. He says, the pharmacy, even after you gave the dose, they would always approve it. So, and they asked him, so why didn't you wait? Was this emergent? And he's like, no, it was urgent, not emergent, but it was urgent because the family was there and they were gathered and it needed to be done. And so he did not feel like he should wait for Dr. Husel to write the order in the chart and have it go to the pharmacy, have the pharmacy approve it and bring the medication. Nope, he did not wait. He's like, nope, I'm going to go to the Pyxis. I'm going to get out the 10 vials that it takes to give this order of medication. And he administered it. Yep. And same story. In December of 2018, he was called in, put on suspension, and then July of the following year, he was fired. He did get referred to the Board of Nursing, at which point there were objection, and we don't know what the consequences of his actions were, but he is still practicing nursing. I suspect he had to take some kind of educational course while his license was temporarily suspended, I suspect, and then he got his license back, and he's practicing nursing. Not at Mount Carmel. No. Anyway. Then they put on three family members. I'm sorry, three. The first woman, she was, this was her mother who was involved. She said her mother was the last victim. That's how she described it. And she was saying, her mother she wasn't in great health, but she was enjoying her grandkids. She was, living on her own with her husband. They were living independently. So her mother was having some breathing difficulties. So they called 911. They put her on oxygen. She was in a regular room. And then they discovered, the father's like, this oxygen's not working. And they're like, no, of course it's working. Like, no, it's not working. And he pulls it off his wife's face, and he shows them that there's nothing coming out. So they change her room, because lo and behold, the oxygen in that room was not working. So who knows how long she sat there with no oxygen. So she goes to another regular room, gets her oxygen, and then her condition starts to deteriorate. She just cannot oxygenate well. So they say, we're going to have to put her on the ventilator, because we just can't keep her oxygenated. So they end up putting her on a ventilator. And of course, the family did not think that she was dying or anything. But William Husel comes to the family and says she's brain dead. And they're like, brain dead? What do you mean she's brain dead? They were all just stymied by, of course they had to take his word for it, because, this is the doctor. But they they just didn't know how they got there. How did we get there? Difficulty breathing. Now you're telling us she's brain dead? So the mother had expressed she did not want to live her life on the ventilator, but she didn't think of this as living her life on the ventilator. She just thought this was a temporary measure till her lungs healed, and then they would take her off the ventilator. But Dr. Hughes was like, nope, she's brain dead. So they made the decision to take her off the ventilator and let her go. But they were not told the amount of medication that she was going to receive, and that she would pass almost immediately. When the daughter came back in the room after the extubation, she said she was gone. We stayed in the room for a while just to be with her for a few minutes. Then we brought Dr. Husel back in, and he pronounced her. But she said, no, she was dead when we went into that room. It was pretty sad. And of course, the defense lawyer, she got up, and the way she treats these family members is really terrible. Like they did something wrong, and I just don't think it's the right approach when you're cross-examining a family member. You need to have a little bit more compassion. And she hauls out the obituary, and she said, didn't you read this obituary? She goes, I wrote the obituary. She says, well, doesn't it say that she's happy in heaven? And the woman just looked at her, and she knew Jesus, and she was ready, she was not afraid of death. And then she's like, okay, we rest. I'm like, what? This is so weird. They're really reaching. So then we have two more family members, same deal. They didn't know the extent of what, Husel's telling them that, their loved ones are dead. You need to make them comfortable, let them go. And they do. It's terrible. A little knowledge is a dangerous thing, man. If I was a nurse, and that was his downfall. He did this to a family member that was a nurse. And that woman, she was in nursing school, and she knew that something was not right. And she's the one that reported him. And that she got this whole ball rolling. Yeah. So too bad he didn't run into somebody medically knowledgeable way before that. If a person that's in nursing school knew something was not right, how did all these other nurses who are graduated and practicing not know that something was off here? you know. You know, separate and apart from giving this medication, they had to know that these people were not brain dead. But, you know, they were trained by Dr. Husel, so I don't know what he told them when he trained them. So, sad, very sad. So let's talk about this day in history. I do hope to bring you the end of this trial. I think Monday and Tuesday I'll kind of be really out of it. I will be back from surgery on Wednesday. Like, I'm coming home on Wednesday, so I don't know if I'll be able to do a show Thursday. But I'm certainly going to bring you some updates. You know, some shorts, YouTube shorts, updates about my condition. So, so you'll know where I'm at as far as, you know, when I'll be able to bring you the next show or what updates I can do on this trial. But I'm not going to miss the end of this trial. If I have to drag my ass with a walker over to this thing, I'm going to bring you guys this verdict. I will, because this has been the best, you know, the most interesting trial I've covered in a very long time, I think, because it's, you know, it's medical stuff. I like medical stuff. Anyway, so this day in history, Bjork shows up at the Oscars in a swan dress. Now, she's from Icelandia, and she's a singer. 2001, to some, Oscar night is more about the fashion than the awards themselves. Much of the audience tunes in to see who looks fabulous, who takes the biggest risk, and of course, who's the most egregious fashion disaster. And of course, the latter was the infamous swan dress, and I will put a picture here for you. This was the 73rd annual Academy Awards, and it was among the most notorious. Born and raised in Reykjavik, Bjork won a radio contest at age 11 and received a contract to record her first album, released in 1977. She first gained international notice as a member of the successful guitar rock band Sugar Cubes, then launched a solo career in the early 1990s. After 3 acclaimed albums, Debut, Post, and Homogenic, Bjork's fame had reached cultist proportions by the end of the decade. She was working with the Danish film director Lars von Trier on the score for his next movie, Dancer in the Dark, when von Trier asked her to play the lead character Selma. Bjork earned critical praise for her portrayal of Selma, as well as polarizing film's only Oscar nomination in the Best Original Song category. So that's why she was there at the Oscars. On Oscar night, the singer turned heads by showing up on the red carpet in an outfit resembling a dead swan. Over a nude body stocking and above a large white tutu-like skirt, the swan's neck was draped around Bjorn's shoulders like a shawl, with its head lying on her chest. Bjorn took to the stage to perform her nominated song, I've Seen It All, which lost its category to Bob Dylan's Things Have Changed from Wonder Boys. Oh, okay. So that's it. I'm going to show you some of her fashion over the years. This woman is so outrageous, like her outfits that she wears on stage. Just, I can't even describe them. I could just show them to you. So as I'm talking, you're seeing some of these different outfits. Like, you may even have to pause to really get a good look, because I'm like, what is she wearing? Yeah, I don't know they didn't mention who the designer of this outlandish outfit was, or if she was the designer, but yeah, crazy, right? But we've seen some crazy stuff at the Oscars. Oh my gosh, yes we have. You know, I remember Lady Gaga and the meat dress. Now, I don't know if that was the Oscars. That was some award ceremony, but where she wore the dress made out of meat. But wow, yeah. Today, I'm wearing my polka dots. Yes. So, quick show today. Sorry, guys. I will do a drive live on the way to work. Eek, 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 eek. Come on, drill. Go where I want you to go. Go, go, go. Ah. Now, my Glue dot just came out, of course. Come on, glue dot. I don't know if I like these glue dots. I bought them from a different, it's a different brand than I used before, and I don't really care for them. Yeah, I'm going to have to order the ones that I like. Anyhow, guys, have a great Friday. Oh, did I forget to mention today is the 25th? You know what happens on Netflix today? Yes, Bridgerton Season 2 has dropped. Now, did I make it to midnight last night? I did not. Sorry, nope. I went to bed early. My foot was hurting me so bad. I've got Achilles tendonitis on top of the knee thing, yeah. Which I did tell the doctor about, and he thinks it's the knee is causing it. So I've been icing it, and so I took some Tylenol. My sister and I have discovered there's a Tylenol out there that is time released, and I'm telling you, it is the best painkiller. Holy moly. It works like a dream. So I took some of the Tylenol, and that helped, and I iced it. Where was I going with this? Oh, I fell asleep. Yeah. And I missed the Bridgerton that drop at midnight. So it does drop today. I know some people stayed up at midnight and didn't see it. I don't know if it didn't drop at exactly midnight, but season 2 of Bridgerton should be available tonight. When I sit down in my comfy bed, I am putting on the Ritz. I'm gonna get my popcorn, my drink, and I am watching season 2 of Bridgerton. Not the whole season, like maybe one or two episodes, because I want to savor it for when I'm got the surgery and I want something to watch. So yeah. All right, guys. I love you all. Have a great Friday. Have a great weekend. I will try to bring you some content tomorrow. Some secret content. Yes. You're not going to want to miss this if I get it to work. All right. Bye, everybody.